Good morning, everyone. It is early, and it's time for some more Yeti's Parole Officer. We have just gone through the hole in the side of a factory wall looking for them Chupacabra. And let's find them. I'm sleepy. Started going back to the gym last week. Did a full, I've been going 3 days a week, but I did all 3 days this week. I'm sore, hurting, but that's good. The air inside the factory smells musty. It's like it's been forgotten a long time. Rust clings to every surface. Lucy casts an impassive eye over it. Lots of jobs here at once, she comments, and you don't see any new ones to replace them. You wonder if Twill's ever seen this reality. Probably not. The PGPB strive to keep order, but they don't seem terribly interested in fixing things before they break. A low humming interrupts your thoughts. It's barely perceptible. If your senses weren't so keen, you'd never have heard it. It's coming from one of the factory's interior walls. What are you doing? Lucy asks, as you press your ear to the cool metal. Shh. Vibrations run up and down your cheek. You scrabble at the metal, searching for a seam, a panel, and then you find it, a latch that keeps the false wall on hidden runners. With a few deft movements, you have it unhooked, and the wall slides to one side. Swish. A broken, smoldering pile of metal greets you. Lucy elbows past you to inspect it. Part of some spacecraft, she mutters. Looks like it got really chewed up, you say. For lack of a better term, yes, Lucy stands. Rough ride out of hyperspace. You raise an eyebrow. The Chupacabra getaway vehicle? Lucy shrugs. Maybe. It doesn't look like it's equipped to handle hyperspace properly. Odd cloaking, too. Almost like a prototype, rather than an actual. Lucy trails off. Lucy, you say hesitantly. The jackalope looked like she was experimenting too, almost like she was trying to build a warp gate in her lair. Lucy snores. Mad creature. The gravitational center would be all wrong. I know. You look at the wrecked ship, mulling over the possibilities. They couldn't have gotten this far, you say at last. Not directly from Earth. Hyperspace is too unstable that close to a planet. She's going a little stir-crazy in exile, Lucy shrugs. We'll file a report, let Tweel know. Standard protocol, nothing to fret over. You have to admit, Lucy's insistence on playing by the book is comforting. Lucy gives you a sidelong look. Maybe we should investigate a little more. Let's pay a visit to El Cid. Dropping in on a mob boss sounds like a plan. After wandering through the tiny shanties where most of the Chupacabra dwell, you're a little discombobulated by the sight of El Cid's mansion. Pale gold stone shines in the afternoon sunlight, and you suddenly remember the actual Chupacabra name for the planet, the one the PGP doesn't like to use. Valdelum, Valleys of Light. Oh look, guards. A number of guards line the sweeping driveway. Their wrinkled lips lift as you approach, revealing curved yellow teeth, more frightening than the guns clutched to their sturdy paws. Rolling your eyes, you march to the nearest one and flash your PGPB badge. We need to talk to El Cid. The guard growls softly. El Cid is busy. I claim to have a delivery. I thank the guard and sneaking another entrance. I work a good cop, bad cop routine with Lucy. El Cid respects the PGPB. I'll drop Tweel's name. Stealth, resolve, persuasion. I don't know. Well, if it doesn't work, we'll just sneak in. So let's drop Tweel's name. Not for the PGPB, he isn't. You say, injecting some confidence into your voice. Commissioner Tweel will have something to say to him. You pause for effect. They go back a long way, El Cid and Tweel. As the guard hesitates, Lucy gives you a look that you haven't seen from her. It's almost appreciative. You turn back to the guard. Well? He growls again, but stands down. I will take you. Nice work, Lucy whispers in your ear as the guard whisks you inside. Wait a sec. Is it your imagination, or is she standing just a little too close? I hope it's my imagination. That would be too awkward. Fantastic. I was really hoping she might be starting to like me. I really not sure how I feel about this. I loathe Lucy. We like Lucy. Fantastic. I was really hoping she might be starting to like me. Well, it seems that she might. Be careful, though. Lucy is a fiery one, and you know that what they say about playing with fire. El Cid waits for you in an ornately furnished parlor. The golden sun spills through wide windows, bathing the room in light. Your boots make no sound on thick white carpets. The furniture gleams, the wood polished to an amber-like color. It's a strange contrast with the Chupacabra awaiting you in the center of it all. His head is even more wrinkled than most Chupacabra, and it's crisscrossed with old scars. His ragged ears prick forward, and he nods. It's been We'll try this accent for him. It's been a long time since the PGPB has done me the pleasure of a visit. His voice sounds pleasant, but you aren't fooled. You know the kidnappings, thefts, and occasional murders his gang committed. Or we could do like a Godfather voice. Let's get to business, you say bluntly. Convicts resided here. Chupacabra meant to be serving their sentence on Earth. El Cid's eyes light up. A jailbreak. Oh, your big commissioner won't be happy. Especially not if they had, shall we say, inside help. Oops. Maybe you shouldn't have given up that nugget. You interview El Cid for a bit longer, but he's just reveling in smugness. He does promise to keep the PGPB updated, though you're not sure you trust him. On the way back to the slum, it seems like you and Lucy are walking really close together, unnecessarily close together in a way that makes makes sweat prickle under your collar and sets you thinking about the PGPB's strict anti-fraternization policy. How do you feel about that? Annoyed we're supposed to be working. Asked me in about 5 minutes. Lucy is practically married to the PGPB. Very confused. I don't know. Let's just be happy about it. Awesome. Lucy's awesome. Honestly, you're not totally surprised Lucy pauses in an alcove. You follow when she beckons you. It's a small space, so while you're very well hidden, you're also very close together. For some reason, the PGPB's anti-fraternization policy flashes across your mind. Personal relationships between agents aren't prohibited exactly, but they're not encouraged either. Civil, courteous, and professional. Those are two of their favorite words. As you're thinking all this, Lucy inhales and her lips part. Oh my, what now? No, we've come this far. We've got to kiss her. So let's kiss her now. The electricity tingles along your spine all the way to your fingertips. The kiss deepens. It's like a fire has gripped you somewhere around the belly button. After a while, who knows how long, Lucy pulls away. I'm sorry, she begins. You press a finger to her lips. Don't be. Lucy looks at the ground. We should talk. PGPB policy doesn't condone this level of fraternization between agents, but Lucy looks up for the first time and you see a glint of wickedness in her eyes. Some rules are meant to be broken. Let's just see how it turns out. This guy has been lonely for a couple hundred years. If he really likes her, let's let him go for it. So look, I really like you. Let's go for it. All right, get together with your partner. We got an achievement. As a real long-term relationship, well, we haven't really known each other very long. Will it work? Meh. I don't know. You nod. It's been a long time. Her fingers trail along your arm, but I think we can make it work if Tweel doesn't find out. Your cheeks hurt from smiling. Everything is different now. After all that adventure, you and Lucy need to catch your respective breaths. You rest under a bridge, panting, out of sight. Or so you thought. A furtive Chupacabra hisses from the bushes. Hey! Lucy holds you back, but you shrug her off to investigate. Hey, what? Got things for sale. You check out his wares. You are very tempted. Which one do you want? How about the cloaking device? Didn't give me a choice to not buy things. As you go to hand over your money, the arm runner's eyes narrow. Hold on. What? You say nervously. He freezes, then scratches himself vigorously behind the ear. That's better. Now the money. You pay up and heft your new purchase. Despite the disapproving looks from Lucy, it's time to track some convicts. When you and Lucy resume stalking the escapees, you immediately run into better luck. The communicators still aren't picking up the Chupacabra's DNA signatures. Really, you need to have a chat with the tech department. But going old school isn't so bad. You find a hair sample which you successfully scan. You're on the right trail. Finally, the trail leads you down a twisting path into the jungle. Red-eyed, purple-plumed birds screech from the canopy, and fuzzy things like the unholy children of sloths and monkeys hang from vine-covered branches. Voices ahead. You found them. Time to put that new cloaking device to good use. Being black market, it's not the highest quality, but it will be good enough for this. Motioning Lucy to stay put, you cloak yourself and slip silently through the brush, the device scattering light rays and shielding you from the sight of the Chupacabra. They don't notice you until it's too late. You've got them handcuffed, trussed, and ready for the PGP pickup. A PGPB ship has been waiting in orbit, so the extraction team arrives quickly. To your immense surprise, Tweel strides out of the hatch. She stands with her boot sneaking into the rich soil, looking around the jungle in disgust. Squalid planet, she mutters. Then, with an equally disgusted look at the bound Chupacabra, she adds, Good work, agents. They'll be back on Earth shortly. Take a raise in clearance level, both of you. Lucy beams and punches you lightly in the arm. Good work, partner. You were amazing. Huzzah! Now, she continues, as a team of Tetsu hustle the Chupacabra into the prison transport, tell me what progress you've made with this smuggling ring. Silence. Well? Lucy clears her throat. Commissioner Tweel, our investigations in Scotland were unsuccessful, and then we got called away to Texas. I see Tweel's eyes near. Perhaps the three of us ought to have a little talk at headquarters. Lucy trembles beside you. You force yourself to remain stoic, but deep inside, you're scared too. Next chapter. And we in love. That's all I'm thinking about is how in love I am with Lucy. How much my mouth hurts. My lips are so freaking chapped. It's killing me. I don't know if I'm allergic to something because they don't usually just instantly crack open like this, but boy, both corners of my mouth are absolutely split wide open. It hurts. But enough about me. You haven't visited PGPB headquarters for a while. As your transport docks, you peer out the windows. It's an orbiting station revolving lazily above the Tetu home planet. Spokes connect a series of concentric rings to one central axis. There are offices and bridges in the rings, engines and power grids in the center. The rings spin independently of each other, assisting the anti-gravity engines. The whole station is made of silver-white metal and gleams in the light of the Tetuan sun. The ship docks with a jolt. A retinue of 4 Tetu guards waits immediately or outside the airlock. Their feathers bristle. Well, says one, the agent's from Earth. His beak clacks with glee. Tweel's been looking forward to having a word with you. Oh, yes, she has. Beside you, Lucy gulps. Yeah-oh. Tweel is waiting in her office. It's on the 4th ring out from the center. Not as exposed as the outer rings, but also not too close to the engines. A window behind her desk reveals a glittering expanse of stars and the brilliant curve of the next ring. You think back to the person you used to be. Back when you were an ordinary mortal human and not a PGPB agent. Back then you would have given your life for a sight like this. In a way, of course, that's exactly what you did. So Tweel says, that smuggling ring. You nod. Let's chat about that. What progress have you made? Lucy still looks like she might keel over. She is very pale and she is breathing quickly and shallowly. It might be best to get her out of here. Besides her personal distress, she looks panicked enough to put her foot in her mouth. Then again, you don't exactly want to face Tweel alone either. I'm going to take all the blame. Offense is the best defense. That doesn't make any sense. Could blame Lucy. No. I wish I excused myself to call Mothman. Grab Lucy's hand. No. I'm gonna take all the blame. You take a deep breath. Look, Commissioner, before you say anything, it was all my fault. I was struggling, right? That's why you assigned Lucy to help me, and even with her help, I haven't found the smuggling ring or learned anything really concrete about the warp gates. That's not because Lucy is a bad agent. I am. Tweel preens, stroking the long feathers on her neck. Agent Lucy, perhaps you should leave. Lucy can hardly get out of the room fast enough. The moment she is gone, Tweel fixes you with a steely glare. So, Tweel says coldly, you're to blame, are you? Before you might have yielded right then, unable to bear the idea of Tweel thinking badly of you. You're past that now. Lucy, you know with equal conviction it's not. You don't care about yourself, but maybe you can keep her out of trouble. And so you straighten up and meet Tweel's yellow eyes. Probably. Jim. You flash a cocky grin. You know Lucy better than you know me. You know she is totally competent, totally by the book. Ergo, none of this is her fault. Ergo, it must be mine. You're digging your own grave a little more with every word. You must like Lucy or something, or Lucy will owe you, or both. Tweel's feathers stiffen with anger. I see I was right to call you in. She presses a button on her desktop. Send Agent Lucy back in. You'll say this about Tweel. She knows her agents well. Pacing in front of you and Lucy, she doesn't lay into you right away. No, she lets you sweat, your dread building as her talons click over the metal floor. Lucy, she says at last, you have always been one of our most respected agents. I had hoped that you would keep Jim in line. Lucy hangs her head, her cheeks flaming red. Oh, Lucy, I don't blame you. Agent Jim has become increasingly contrary these past few years. You say nothing. You won't deny something that's true. Jim, I'm decreasing your clearance level. As well, I'm reassigning your case to... Before she can finish her sentence, the lights flicker ominously and an acrid burning smell fills the air. Suddenly, the station shudders violently. Vibrations run through the metal floor, juddering along your sternum. That's a sharp crackling, followed by a burst of light. And then, darkness fills the station. Your hand goes instinctively to Lucy. You need to make sure she is safe. With that confirmed, you fumble for your stunner. Tweel is nothing but a silhouette against the backdrop of stars, but you see her raise her own weapon. The station gives a tired, moaning sound, and then the emergency lighting system kicks in. Soft, pale green strips of light glow in 3 bands, one at floor level, one at eye level, and one near the ceiling. Tweel dives for the intercom. What's happened? No answer. She switches to the emergency channel. Engineering, can you hear me? The response is delayed, but audible. Power's out all over the station, Commissioner. Well, that's bad. Any idea why? Tweel demands. Whatever it was intentional. The engineer pauses. Commissioner, this is sabotage. Meanwhile, Lucy has drifted to Tweel's desk. Frowning, she flips through several screens. You scoot over and peer over her shoulder. Most of the screens are black. A few are running on auxiliary power and show greatly simplified displays. Still, it's enough for you to realize something. Tweel, you drag your fingers over the schematics, enlarging them just to make sure. The Earth's monitoring system was hit the worst. Circuits are completely fried. You mean no one is watching Earth? Nope. You gulp. The smuggling, the jailbreak, and now the Earth is completely unobserved. This is no coincidence. The main power grid is at the heart of the station. It'll be tricky to reach, but it's your best bet for getting the station back online. You could try hooking the EMS to the auxiliary power unit. It won't help the station, but it'll ensure that Earth is monitored. Tweel's looking angst-ridden, though maybe you don't want to leave her. You can always direct the engineers over the comm lines. Then again, this might be the perfect time to make a discreet exit. Should I remain here and help Tweel to make her like me more? Go to the auxiliary power unit? Or head for the main grid? I don't know what I want to do. Let's try to make sure we can get Earth monitored. Let's go to the auxiliary power unit. The auxiliary power unit is a lot closer than the main power grid. Rather than trekking halfway across the station, quite an enterprise in deep space. Even for a voyager like yourself, you only need to head down a nearby corridor. Of course, standing in front of the unit is a different matter. You tap at the screen and bring out the schematics. Rerouting the Earth monitoring system through the APU might be a tad harder than you anticipated. I'll test every circuit, even if it takes forever. We cover the auxiliary power units at the academy. I have the notes on my communicator. It's hammer time. Let's check the notes. Well, you have some notes. Conventional note-taking wasn't really your modus operandi at the academy. Mischief, yes. Studying, not so much. You'll just have to trust your luck and instinct on this one. You stare at the grid in bewilderment. None of this makes any sense to you. Acting on a guess, you switch on a few wires around, then you press a button for good measure. Did it work? The lights blaze all around you. It's like being engulfed by the sun. There's a harshly sizzling sound, an explosion that sends you pitching to your feet, and Tweel's voice coming over the auxiliary comm line. Jim, that's a demotion. It takes a very long time for the station to return to normal. Countless engineers work as fast as their various appendages will let them. Good lord, man. I suck at everything. But you're aware of every second, mostly because Tweel is glaring at you. It looks like the power outage itself was caused by a signal emanating from the vicinity of Loch Ness. The Earth monitoring system was offline too long. Illegal ships may have managed to get inside our perimeter around Earth. If you were planning a jailbreak, Lucy says softly, this would be a good way to start. You stare out the window, drumming your fingers on the combination fused borosilicate glass. I think we should return to Loch Ness. Tweel raises a feathery eyebrow. Oh? I don't trust Nessie, you say. Everything started going wrong after we talked to her. Lucy nods. You're right, Commissioner. I'll go too. Smiling, she turns to you and adds, someone has to keep an eye on you. Very well, Tweel shakes her head. I'm giving you a slightly lower clearance level, though. This power outage hit us hard. And so back to Scotland you go. I understand the clearance level thing as a punishment, but it's not affecting me. Maybe that takes away stuff I'm able to do. I don't know. Loch Ness always looks a little grim. Many things have changed over the years. The Loch's propensity toward brooding gray skies and waters has not. Lucy pilots the transport with noticeably less finesse than usual. Her hands shake on the controls. You clear your throat. Lay a hand on her shoulder. Thank you for coming with me, really. Lucy shrugs. You can tell she is trying for a confident smile, but she isn't quite managing it. It's that pesky conscience of mine. Can't let you wander off unsupervised. You'll just end up hurting yourself, and then how will I feel? Sad? Lucy doesn't answer for a moment. Yeah, she says finally, the cockiness toned down for once. Sad. The display of emotion is huge for Lucy. You never thought you'd find something that Lucy values more than her standing in the PGPB. It's her whole world, but apparently there is something. You. It's a sobering thought. Besides, Lucy needs some comfort, if for no other reasons than because her hands are trembling and your flight pattern is getting quite erratic. Let's do it. Let's take the romantic route. And I kiss Lucy. And we will read some more after that next time. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you are watching and enjoying the series. Let me know something else you might like me to play afterwards that I can put on the docket, and I will do it. Please be sure to leave a comment, a like, and a subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. I love you very much. Bye-bye.